look like you, don't smile the way you do. Your eyes are brown and the baby eye blue. You help them plant the seed, you help them grind the corn. But when the bread done bake, the game won't give you none, boy, you get swing.
Tonight, will the PLP get 2 terms back to back? Also, the Free National Movement has its eyes set on the Golden Isles constituency. And later, who's having the final say on Junkanoo? We've got the details coming up. Eyewitness News starts now. Good Friday evening, everyone. I'm Janae Noel. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, a prominent business leader turned political contender. He's sharing his take on the country's direction and why he believes change could come at a cost. Our Jose Etienne joining me live in studio with more tonight. Jose?
Well, Janae, the governing party's candidate, Sebastian, is urging voters to not gamble on new leadership with the upcoming general election fast approaching. Now, one might argue that his calls for continuity is simply about party loyalty, but the serial entrepreneur says his plea is rooted in vision for national development.
Then it's necessary for us to go 2 terms as a country. We have racked up so much deficit and missed opportunities and prosperity based because we keep resetting.
And by changing the horse midstream, Bastian believes residents could be doing themselves a disservice, sending the nation backward.
The progress that is being made, though all of the things that we set out to do are not quite done yet, we've done a lot, we have a lot more to go. We have to invest and vote into progress. This is about progress, and this is about continuing what has been started, all of the hard work, the heavy lifting. We can't go in that stop, repeat, and cancel cycle.
But the reality is, since 2012, the country has been stuck in an electoral cycle where governments have not been voted in, but rather kicked out of office. Political commentators argue that aside from 1997, when the Free National Movement won back-to-back, the last time the electorate voted in a political party was in 2007, when former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram won the election shortly after returning as leader of the Free National Movement. History shows that the electorate didn't seem quite convinced about a Tommy Turnquest-led FNM, which political pundits believe had a consequential impact on the 2002 general election. And to Bastian's point about continuity, it remains a concern that's amplified by political differences on the National Development Plan. It's what the Plan Steering Committee's chairman, Felix Stubbs, sums up as, quote, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Draft legislation to place the plan on a legal footing is expected by end November, and officials believe it's central to locking in progress that won't be derailed by electoral outcomes. Nonetheless, Bastian is forthright about his position.
There's only one way this election should go if we want a better Bahamas, and that's PLP all the way.
Comments feed into a broader party message of continuity and progress as the Progressive Liberal Party shifts its focus toward the next general election cycle that Prime Minister Philip Davis says could happen very soon. Back to you, Janelle.
Thanks so much, Jose. Our Jose Etienne joining us live in studio tonight. Meantime, the Free National Movement rallying support ahead of the upcoming by-election, saying their candidate has the know-how and the drive to deliver from day one. Laurencia Smith has the details tonight.
Supporters of the Free National Movement dressed in their party colors, waving the party's flag and pom-pom, showing their support at the Rally for the Alley in the Golden Isles constituency Thursday night. The party's candidate, Brian Brown, contesting the seat in the upcoming by-election, told supporters he doesn't need politics to call him to serve. He says when the community calls,
when family needs help, Brian Berkeley Brown showed up.
Adding that he's never left the people of Golden Isles, even when he lost at the polls in 2021 to the late Vaughn Miller.
As an outsider, he don't live here, he don't know us, and he don't understand the community. He hasn't walked these streets or felt what we felt.
Miller's sudden death in September has triggered a by-election set for November 24th. It's now a four-way race in Golden Isles, with Darren Pickstock representing the Progressive Liberal Party, Brian Roll running for the Coalition of Independents, and Karen Kim Butler entering as an independent candidate. F&M leader Michael Pintard says he hopes the outcome of this by-election sends a strong message to the governing party.
They ought to be focused not on the small groups that they continue to empower. They've given $500 million plus in direct awards to big players without giving the rest of the population a chance.
With nearly 8,000 voters expected to head to the polls, observers are predicting a closely contested race. The party's deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, says the people are tired of the promises.
People of Golden Isles are saying that they have had enough. This is a government that has been about promises, not policy. And I tell you, F&Ms and Golden Isles and Bahamians everywhere, this is a government that has been about the greedy and not the needy.
Southern Shore's candidate Danilee Penn-Mackey, Fort Charlotte candidate Travis Robinson, and Heather McDonald, who is contesting the Angleston seat, rallied behind the Golden Isles candidate, reinforcing his message to stay connected to the community.
You're gonna get just what West End got, a ton of neglect. And Golden Isles is not for sale. What we want, it can't be bought.
Golden Isles deserve better leadership and better representation.
In the 2021 snap election, Brown captured 1,844 votes. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, will the Free National Movement deputy leader Shannon Cartwright contest the St. Barnabas seat, the seat he first won back in 2017 and successfully defeated in 2021? For now, Cartwright isn't saying. Speaking with Eyewitness News on the sidelines of that rally last night, the F&M's deputy leader said he'll make it a final decision once the Boundaries Commission releases its official report. It's a move expected to shift constituency lines ahead of next year's general elections. His comments also coming amid months of speculation on whether he'll seek renomination in St. Barnabas or make a move to a newly drawn seat.
Because the reality of it is, the way this process works is that a decision is going to be made relative to changes across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we don't want to preempt what that decision will be. And then political parties will make decisions accordingly. Been committed to the people of St. Barnabas. We know that politics at times causes changes to happen in the boundaries. They've made proposals that will include changes to a number of seats, so we're waiting to see that fortified.
For the Progressive Liberal Party, no official candidate has been named as yet, though it's widely rumored that Senator Michael Halkitis could be nominated. He ran in that seat during the last election. Meanwhile, the Coalition of Independents also has not officially named a candidate.
To the people of St. Barnabas, but what I will say is when the changes happen and when they do happen and if they happen, I will make a decision and share that with the people of St. Barnabas.
Well, more political news tonight. The Democratic National Alliance renewing its call for a complete overhaul of the country's political framework. In a statement, the party proposes the creation of an independent election commission to replace the Parliamentary Registration Department and also reduce political influence in the electoral process. The DNA also wants that body to regulate party licensing, colors, logos, and large donors, as well as verify candidate declarations. When it comes to the boundaries, the party is pushing for an independent entity to handle any changes, arguing that decisions about seats and constituencies should not rest with the Prime Minister or members of Parliament.
The persons who make up this commission would be people from civil society, people from the National Statistics Institute, people from the community. These are people who knows the areas better, and it eliminates all the political maneuvering that would favor one party over the other. This is why we're calling for it to be a part of our Constitution. We're asking for a referendum to ensure that this commission would be totally independent and would function separate from the government, separate from the politics, and be totally, fair and prevent gerrymandering and prevent any abuse of the system.
Well, Executive Director for the DNA, Rudolph Dean, also addressing the age-old issue of campaign finance reform.
We don't know where this money is coming from. Both major political parties, they spend millions of dollars on the election campaign. and there's no telling who those people who donate to those parties, and also there's no record of whether they get contracts or privileges after election. And so we must create a system that is fair, that is even, that is transparent, and that is workable, so that everyone would play on a level playing field.
The DNA has seemingly been silent on the ground after its initial announcement of returning to frontline politics. But officials say, make no mistake, it doesn't mean that they're not working. The executive party director, Rudolph Dean, says that while the party is not contesting the Golden Owl seat in the by-election, he says it still has its eyes set on a full slate for the 2026 election. The party is still ran by an executive board at this time, but a leader is expected to be voted in soon.
Yes, we're still doing that, and we're still reorganizing. We're still getting things together, and you will be hearing more about that shortly. Like you said, we're going to have a conclave, and then we also intend to have a convention. And so we would let everything be known as we go about those things. Well, I don't want to place a time on it, but it will happen.
Well, after weeks of uncertainty over who will lead, all major groups are now confirmed to take to Bay Street this Boxing and New Year's Day parades, rushing for bragging rights. Laurentia Smith has the details.
When the drums roll over Boxing Day morning, all major groups will be ready to hit Bay Street under the management of the National Junkanoo Committee. And despite the back and forth whether groups would rush under the management of the NJC or the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, representatives from Roots, Genesis, Music Makers, the Valley Boys, and One Family say they'll be there and ready to rush.
It's a dark day in our nation when persons are afraid to speak out for fear of victimization. But we must disagree to agree.
So we look forward to going to Bay Street this year.
Music makers will be there to compete.
Happy to say that the Valley Boys are in fact ready and well prepared for this season.
We want to reassure our sponsors, our fans, and our members that One Family Junkanoo Group will be a part of this national parade.
This after reports surfaced that the JCNP planned to host its own independent Junkanoo parades, and some groups had pulled out from participating under the NJC. And one of those groups reportedly not rushing under the NJC was the Shouts Action Superstar. However, their leader, Percy Vola-Francis, says they'll be there to defend their title.
We have some rattling in the camp. Most of us have, all right? But we want to say that we don't have any cracks in our armor. And all of you who are Junkanoos out there, listen, we are all coming to Bay Street. Can I say this outright? I appointed Mr. Toby Austin as chairman of the Saxons.
Now, we reached out to the Saxons chairman for comment. However, we were unsuccessful. Upward to news time. Meantime, the chairman of the NJC, Andrew Pinder, clarified reports that they, along with the JCNP, are joining forces to manage this year's parades.
As we said, we are taking recommendations as to how we can make this parade better.
And what were those recommendations?
The recommendations have been forwarded to the PMT in terms of their concern about tally room, observers in the room.
And Pinder made it clear that the parades will be full of accountability, structure, and transparency. And Douglas Hanna has been appointed to lead the parade management team for the upcoming 2025 Boxing Day and 2026 New Year's Day Junkanoo parades. And he says that they're in talks with stakeholders at this time.
9% strong with the team that needs to manage the parade. We are good to go. We are looking forward. One of the major components of that is preparation of the judges. That is well underway.
Laurentia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, in news from the crime beat tonight, one of the two men who escaped from the Harbor Island police station last week has been sentenced to 1 year in prison after pleading guilty. Levon Nairn, who was one of the second escapees to be recaptured, was arrested back on November 5th, one day after the breakout. He pleaded guilty to the charge of escape, but denied accusations that he caused $4,000 in damage to the police station during that incident. The second man, Kervin Janasant, has denied both the escape and damage charges. Both men returned to court on February 4th. On to some other news tonight. The head of the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association, Marvin Smith, warning that global trade wars could have some serious implications for the local supply of medicine. He points to the rising tariffs and dependence on Chinese imports as factors that could drive up costs and also impact access.
Healthcare as a whole and pharmacy in particular in the coming days. We don't know what this trade deal with China is even going to present, but we understand that the 100% tariffs on India, the tariffs on Latin America, all of these things, these are producing countries. That's where the drugs are being produced. All right, and we have to make sure that we continue to have access to cost-effective but quality medications. We have to make sure that as we move into NHI, that it is a system that has been set up to have success and not fail. We have to understand that as this cannabis industry now is getting some movement, and we've seen some things happening, that we start this right, that we get some things in place, that is the regulations that still need to be done are done, that they involve us as stakeholders. And I'll give you an example.
Smith also criticizing what he calls the unhelpful influence of some international organizations.
We need to look at these trade issues with serious consideration of what do we do as a small market country with a relatively small population, which means we have a relatively small buying power. How do we work around these things? How do we partner with organizations and with other countries that can really help us? All right. I'll give you a big example. What we've seen in the last decade with the impact and influence of the Pan American Health Organization in the Caribbean as a whole has been negative. What they've created in terms of these templates and these rules that they want us to follow, and all of these things that they tell us they're trying to protect us from, aren't helping us at all. And we've seen our Caribbean partners move away. Guyana has moved away. They're doing their own manufacturing, bringing in Rwanda and some of the other countries to do that. Trinidad, moving away. Jamaica, saying, no, we're going to do what we need to do on our own. But they want to exert influence here in the Bahamas. All right? This is a critical issue for us. All right? Because at the end of the day, the places that make these drugs are coming out of Asia. They're coming out of Asia, they're coming out of Western Europe. We need to be garnering the resources and the partnerships with those entities. All right? Latin America is not coming to save us. Latin America can't supply themselves.
Well, Bahamian marine specialists are representing the nation on the global stage tonight. They're joining scientists and policymakers in Fort Lauderdale to tackle some of the most pressing challenges facing our ocean ecosystems. Our Lyndon Ritchie Jr. present for the 8th annual Bonefish Tarpon and Trust Symposium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He joins me live tonight. Lyndon?
We've really been involved with the guide community in the Bahamas. The science and the research that we're doing, it really relies on the traditional knowledge of the guide.
Bahamian flat fishing guides making waves abroad, this time in Fort Lauderdale with one goal in mind: to conserve and restore the flat fishing industry and its supporting ecosystems in the Bahamas. The guides are participating in the Bonefish and Tarpon Trust International Symposium, a global gathering of experts, policymakers, and stakeholders in sustainable fisheries. Eyewitness News caught up with officials from the BTT who underscored the crucial role Bahamian fishermen play in the region's conservation efforts.
Be able to build a stronger BTT presence because of the science that we're bringing, but also because of the policy inclusion.
Deputy Chairman of the Bahamas National Trust, Drexel Roll, says the event opens the doors for collaboration with international scientists and environmental groups to combat the growing threat to mangroves, vital breeding grounds for many fish species.
BTT is a very good partnership to get that on the go and make sure we could preserve this future of our livelihood, this fly fishing industry.
So why the renewed focus on preserving fly fishing? Organizers say in its 8th year, the symposium continues to target critical issues affecting the health and sustainability of bonefish, tarpon, and permit population species that support a multi-million-dollar industry in the Bahamas. PTT Caribbean Program Director Rashima Ingram says the knowledge and connections gained through the conference will strengthen local capacity and elevate the work of Bahamian fishing communities.
Some of the needs that they have or lack are being implemented in other areas, and then also to learn from what others are doing and then share some of their experiences or successes.
Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the ION News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, the second wave of promotions for public servants, they're underway. We've got the details on that coming up. Also, major businesses across the Bahamas joining forces to provide aid in Jamaica in Hurricane Melissa's aftermath. We've got more on that right after this break.
Hello, bonjour, hola, hello, ciao.
No matter where your passport takes you, BTC roaming keeps you effortlessly connected. Enjoy seamless calls, lightning-fast data, and affordable roaming across the globe. No SIM swaps, no stress. Just one network, working everywhere. So go ahead, explore the world, and still be just a call away from home.
Fill up box for all $30.
The new KFC fill-up box, serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets, all packed into one crave-worthy box. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC fill-up box. Only at KFC, it's finger-licking good.
I worked hard every single day, from primary school into secondary school. My name is Darren Pickstock. I started to work at Atlantis as a space cleaner. Nobody could beat me. I took pride in my job. After that, I went to the UK to study law. I'm very proud of my work in the Senate, my advocacy for suicide prevention, my record in empowering young people, and also food security. I'm the chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. I believe that it is important for us to feed ourselves. So I see that as a national security issue. The government has done a lot, but the reality is there is a lot more to be done. The cost of living is always increasing, and so to be able to bring down the cost of food will assist people in being able to eat properly. Investing in Bahamians is important, extremely important. It is about opening the door. People just want an opportunity. I am very result-driven, and that is what Golden Isles will see me as.
Hello, bonjour, hola, hello, ciao.
No matter where your passport takes you, BTC roaming keeps you effortlessly connected. Enjoy seamless calls, lightning-fast data, and affordable roaming across the globe. No SIM swaps, no stress. Just one network, working everywhere. So go ahead, explore the world, and still be just a call away from home.
Fill up box for all $30.
The new KFC fill-up box, serving 6 juicy pieces of chicken, 4 buttery biscuits, crispy fries to share, and 12 premium original recipe KFC nuggets, all packed into one crave-worthy box. So dig in and do whatever the crunch you want with the KFC fill-up box. Only at KFC, it's finger-licking good.
I worked hard every single day, from primary school into secondary school. My name is Darren Pickstock. I started to work at Atlantis as a space cleaner. Nobody could beat me. I took pride in my job. After that, I went to the UK to study law. I'm very proud of my work in the Senate, my advocacy for suicide prevention, my record in empowering young people, and also food security. I'm the chairman of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation. I believe that it is important for us to feed ourselves. So I see that as a national security issue. The government has done a lot, but the reality is there is a lot more to be done. The cost of living is always increasing, and so to be able to bring down the cost of food will assist people in being able to eat properly. Investing in Bahamians is important, extremely important. It is about opening the door. People just want an opportunity. I am very result driven, and that is what Golden Isles will see me as.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker, $5.48 at both Esso and Rubis tonight. Shell, $5.25. We'll have those updated numbers for you. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, with precision and pride, 103 men and women officially joined the Royal Bahamas Police Force between New Providence and Grand Bahama with precision here in the capital, as some 68 recruits march across the grounds today at the Royal Bahamas Police Force Training College, marking the completion of months of rigorous physical, academic, and ethical training. These recruits represent the most recent wave of officers prepared to fight against crime while restoring confidence in the badge they now wear. Commandant of Training, Chief Superintendent Laura Stewart, sharing the moment was a completion of dedication for those trainees.
One of the things since Commissioner Knowles came in, ethics has been one of the strong suits that she's asked us to hone in on, and we've done several sessions on ethics and our policies just to remind the officers of what their responsibilities are and also the consequences of when they go awry. We have taught them that we have to become public-centric. So our officers are all trained to be community officers, but they are enforcers of the law.
As the force faces some ongoing public criticism regarding officer behavior, the Commandant emphasized that ethics remains central to their mission.
I am truly elated because it was a long road, but it gives us joy at the training school to see them all successfully pass out. So it was a good feeling. Everybody did police discipline. So we did the law, we did police procedures, we did policies, police tactics, physical fitness, community policing, domestic violence sessions. So basically they trained to be police officers. Court procedures, traffic, those were some of the disciplines that we would have taken them through. Now the fire officers did not do any fire training, as fire training is done after. We train everybody as police officers. Why? There's no guarantee that today or tomorrow they will go into fire, but eventually fire officers can actually come out and serve in the regular force. So we train everybody as regular police officers, and then we go into specialized disciplines.
Well, some good news for public servants. Labor and Public Services Minister Pia Glover-Rose says the second wave of service-wide promotions are underway. The ministry has executed about 4,000 promotions to date. It's a robust exercise that Glover-Rose says is being done to facilitate growth and succession planning within the public sector.
Promotions are ongoing in the public service. It's consistent. But then there are special exercises. So what we have going on right now is our second service-wide promotion. You would hear me speak often that service-wide promotions had been paused during the last administration. We resumed those service-wide promotions. Service-wide is a promotional exercise in the public service that allows public servants to be moved up naturally every 2 years. That had been ceased. The last exercise we did was a double, and now we are back on track. So we are where we need to be on schedule with service-wide promotions, and that exercise is going on now. We expect for delivery early in the, I would say, Q1 of 2026.
The nation's business leaders coming together today under one roof as the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce hosts its 7th annual National Chambers Conclave, bringing family, islands, and corporate stakeholders face-to-face to discuss the future of Bahamian enterprise. Adelano Roker has the highlights tonight.
A gathering of business leaders, policymakers, and innovators all under one roof for the 7th National Chambers of Commerce Conclave. The event brought together chambers from across the islands to share ideas, tackle challenges, and strengthen partnerships. BCCEC Vice Chairman Don Williams highlighting the conclave allows for improvements and collaboration.
As you're aware, the business community is vast across our archipelago, and depending on your island, you have key issues that you may face that Nassau may not have, that Exuma may not have, but Abaco and Long Island may face. So, for example, in terms of digital banking, while Nassau may be ahead of it, an island like Abaco can now understand what was done, the platforms that were used, and now apply that.
Williams noting this year's conclave also aids on widening the reach of key business support agencies.
Various strategic partners, agencies, the government, the private sector as well, and then increased trade as well throughout the Bahamas, not just for the imports, but the exports and the various partnerships. So a lot of exciting things are going to be happening for the Chamber of Commerce. We look forward to boosting the Bahamian economy through businesses.
Also in attendance, Minister of Labor Pierre Glover-Roll, who noted the importance of ongoing dialogue around what she calls the triple transition.
That is, how are we approaching the way we govern, the way we manage our countries based on climate change, which is real for us, based on digital transformation, and of course based on social justice, how we handle our people. That is the platform from which I will speak today and delve a little deeper into how government and the private business sector can ensure that we're moving smoothly through the triple transition.
The conclave also opened its doors to the next generation, giving students and young entrepreneurs a front row seat to real-world business discussions, mentorship opportunities, and networking with industry leaders.
It was important for me to be here because as a young girl, I feel like I should get enough skills to know how to, with commerce and how to be a young entrepreneur. I can get a lot of information from this conference.
Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, the country is experiencing a dip in consumer confidence and a slowdown in stopover demand from the U.S., though interest from Canadian travelers, they're said to be on the rise. Central Bank Governor John Rowell says the shift has slowed the strong earnings seen last year, with stopover revenue holding steady and hotel room income trending lower over the past 9 months. However, Rowell notes that outlooks for the final quarter remains optimistic, with expectations of a rebound in tourism performance.
Overall earnings increased at a slower rate than in 2024. This softening was largely concentrated in reduced consumer confidence and stopover demand originating from the United States, which eclipsed a significant boost in non-U.S. demand, particularly from Canada. Despite continued robust gains in cruise inflows, projected stopover earnings were almost unchanged from the previous year. In particular, estimated hotel room revenues decreased over the comparative periods, in contrast to a healthy earnings growth for vacation rentals. While hotels registered slightly lower average occupancy and some reduced average pricing, vacation rentals experienced strengthening in both indicators based on the central bank's analysis of AirDNA data.
Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Chester Cooper continues to tout that the country is open and ripe for business. This following the passage of Hurricane Melissa.
All of our major destinations in the Bahamas are open and operational. Of course, the southeastern Bahamas, where there may be some utility outages in terms of BPL and water, they're still recovering. And I expect over the next few days there will be full recovery based on what we have observed. But the message to the world is that we are open for business, and we have 16 amazing destinations. Leaving Nassau this morning, it was delightful to see flights coming and going and business as usual. And I think that message needs to go to the world, that we have been spared. We are grateful.
A shakeup at the Miss Universe pageant making headlines after a heated exchange was reported between a pageant organizer and Miss Universe Mexico. It escalated into her being removed from a meeting. The incident, which took place in Thailand ahead of competition this week, saw the organizer allegedly calling the contestant a, quote, dumbhead before asking her to leave. In a show of solidarity, several contestants, including Miss Universe Bahamas, Melanie Fernandez, walked out in support. The group was then reportedly warned that their actions could affect their participation in this year's pageant, a story we are continuing to follow. While corporate social responsibility is coming to the forefront as major businesses across the country join forces to aid Jamaica in the aftermath of devastating Hurricane 5, Melissa Delano Roker has the details of how some local companies are stepping in to help rebuild.
It's a powerful show of solidarity. More than 20 Bahamian businesses have come together with a single goal in mind: to help Jamaica recover after the destruction left behind by Hurricane Melissa. Honorary Consul of Jamaica, Doneth Cartwright, says the hurricane took a direct hit to Jamaica's center.
This hurricane was just not devastation, it's ripping out the belly of Jamaica. St. Elizabeth is our food basket parish. When the belly of the nation is ripped out, it has ripple effects. It means that there's going to be food shortage, there's going to be a long-lasting impact.
Cartwright also reminding donors that custom fees have been waived for all approved relief goods being shipped to Jamaica, while spotlighting the Bahamas' role in locating and reconnecting families.
The Bahamas has helped us. One of the things we had during Dorian was an app that allowed people to connect with each other. So as we speak, I think by Monday you should see that app where persons will be, the Bahamas helped Jamaica to develop this really quickly, almost overnight, and you'll be able to go use this app and locate family members in Jamaica.
At one of the main drop-off points alongside Island Maritime Services and Centerville Food Market, Roker's gas station, community members have been turning out in numbers. Owner Peter Roker, who helped organize the drive, says it's all about unity and hope.
We've had people, we've had Bahamians respond, we've had Jamaicans respond, we've had every person in this country respond to this, and it gives me hope. In these days particularly, it gives me hope.
For Island Maritime Services, efforts go beyond national borders. Logistics executive Dario Torelli says the Bahamas understands what it means to face catastrophe and why helping Jamaica now is so important.
All of our regional cargo comes into Jamaica from all over the world, every major port into Jamaica and then Nassau and then dispersed throughout the world. And so when the hurricane was approaching, we had to change course of direction for our ships. And so we couldn't import cargo from Jamaica, so of course we knew we had to mobilize.
Officials are urging the public to donate through verified organizations, including the Hummingbird Association, Rotary Club, and the Bahamas Red Cross, to ensure supplies reach those who need them most. Delano Roker, Eyewitness News.
Right with us, there's more news on the other side of the break, including preparations for Junior Junkanoo. We've got the details, but first, a check on weather.
As a resident of Golden Isles for the past 22 years, I've lived there, served as the chairman for the constituency for the past 11 years. I know the needs, I know the infrastructure needs, I know the needs that the people in Golden Isles need. I drive through there every day. Some of the needs is the healthcare system, the environment, We're looking at safety in terms of the police presence being in the constituency on a daily basis. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get Golden Isles up and running and making sure that it's be the best constituency in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. My name is Brian Berkeley Brown from the great constituency of Golden Isles. I'm asking that you lend me a vote so I could work for you.
Bahamas is all about Alpha Songs, 25 years of greatness. Kesty Band is going to be there to celebrate. You don't know.
Them just want to jump. Don't tell me about work in the morning. Unless we're talking hard work. Talking hard work. Talking hard work. Hello. And I feel like just with $1 million ready to go. Yeah. Who need to make them jump? Who need to make them jump? Who need to make them jump? Them just want to jump.
Miss how she name. I can't wait. Bless up.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, International Men's Day is just 2 weeks away, but executives at the Atlantis Resort have already kicked off their celebrations through empowerment sessions. Executives holding an Atlantis Men Empowerment Network, also known as AMEN, that brought together hundreds of male employees at the resort. The attendees enjoyed transformative sessions that also featured keynote speakers with influence in business, finance, and other sectors, among them His Excellency Sebastian, who gave critical tips on wealth management.
I just wanted to give a lot of tips about how you could not fall into the debt trap, smart investing, assets, investing for assets versus liabilities, because these are hotel workers and, they are a lender's paradise, if you want to call it. Government workers and hotel workers are where the lenders really prey on. So if they know how to borrow smart, from the onset, they can find themselves in a much healthier financial position. All of us start at zero in terms of our ability to go out there, educate ourselves, earn a living and all that. And, a lot of people have jobs and you get your job and you're credit worthy, you don't have any debt. And you go to the bank, that first piece of debt you take on can change the trajectory of your life forever.
He also underscored the urgent need to embed financial education in the classroom so that students are well equipped before they enter the real world.
I'm always going to repeat that because, the number one major debt in everyone's life is a mortgage. And I want people to understand the pros and cons of taking on a mortgage too fast and as your first real estate investment. That's why notice I said pros and cons. So there are pros and there are cons. And giving people that literacy and that information, they can make informed decisions. So with that information, if you decide that that's the path you want to take, so be it. And if you want to take this path, that's okay too. But we got to have a lot more financial literacy. I want to advocate for that to actually be a part of our school curriculum, so that when we graduate, we understand how to manage money. If you don't give somebody the knowledge along with the money, they'll always find themselves in financial difficulties.
Well, the National Junior Junkanoo Parade is set for January. The National Junkanoo Committee co-chair, Kishleen O'Brien, making the announcement today at the Office of the Prime Minister. O'Brien says special attention will be given to the parade, as she says it's one of the most important in the country.
The National Junior Junkanoo Parade will take place on Thursday, January 29th, 2006, commencing at 6 p.m. on Bay Street on New Providence. This event isn't just a school competition. It's where the next generation of rushers, builders, dancers, and musicians begin their journey. Every time a child learns the rhythm of a goatskin drum or the precision of costume design, we ensure that Junkanoo's legacy will live far beyond all of us.
In addition to the Junior Junkanoo Parade, several parades are expected to take place across the country, from Managua in the south to Bimini in the north. O'Brien also announcing a new Junkanoo Festival for Grand Bahama, which she says will transform the annual Junkanoo rush out on the island. She says the Grand Bahama Junkanoo product has shown steady growth over the years, and she says the NJC is proud to give them a boost.
Grand Bahama is our little babies because we remember when Grand Bahama only had a parade. But guess what? This year, Grand Bahama will also have a festival. Their parades and festival begins on January 9th through 12th. On Friday, January 9th, will be the senior parade commencing at 7 p.m. at Explorers Way. On Saturday, January 10th, the All Bahamian Block Party and Concert, followed by the announcement of the official scores, will also be on Explorers Way. On Sunday, January 11th, a gospel concert will be held commencing at 7 p.m. at the New Life Worship Center off Coral Road. On Monday, January 12th, the Majority Rule Junkanoo Festival will begin at 12 noon at Pelican Point at the Coconut Fair site. So as you can see, Grand Bahama have so many selections, similar to what you will hear that will be happening here on New Providence.
So to come in Eyewitness News, our Laurentia Smith has your latest check on sports. Good evening, Laurentia.
Good evening, Janaea. While some new faces are expected to be unveiled over at Legend Walk in honor of Sports Month, I'll tell you more about it straight ahead in sports.
Registering for the advanced poll? Listen up. 2 deadlines are looming. Overseas voters must apply by Thursday, October 30th. Special voters have until Thursday, November 6th. Who qualifies? An overseas voter is a Bahamian eligible to vote from abroad, like students studying overseas and certain government personnel posted outside the Bahamas, along with qualifying spouses and immediate family. A special voter is someone who may be unable to vote in person on election day, including those 65 and older, hospitalized or in a care facility, pregnant, or who have recently given birth, traveling or stationed overseas on election day, candidates and their spouses, election workers, and parliamentary registration employees. For the full list of who qualifies and how to apply, click the link in the caption or pause the screen. Don't miss your deadline. Apply for the advanced poll today.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Are you ready, Bahamas? Get up, get moving, and join us at IL Fit Fest. Saturday, November 15th at the University of the Bahamas Playing Field. From 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're talking a variety of fitness vendors, free health screenings, and $10,000 in giveaways. And for the kids, we have a kids zone. And entry is absolutely free. Don't miss the IL Fit Fest.
Eyewitness Sports is brought to you by 103.5 The Beat.
Welcome to another edition of Eyewitness Sports. I'm Laurentia Smith. Thanks for joining us. Topping sports tonight. As the country continues to celebrate National Sports Month, all eyes are on Legend Walk over at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, as 6 new portraits are set to be unveiled tonight. Well, definitely stay tuned to Eyewitness Sports for all of the highlights from that unveiling. But however, the celebration doesn't stop there. Tomorrow, the country's top and brightest athletes will be honored for their achievements. Congratulations to all of the winners in advance. Now let's head on over to the pool deck. At the Carifta Water Polo Championships over in Florida, the Bahamas U16 boys team faced off a tough competitor. In their first matchup against Trinidad and Tobago, they edged out the Bahamas 20-14. Later in the day, the two teams met again with the Twin Island nation narrowly defending the 2-4-2. 13-11. The young Bahamian squad showing fight but came up short in both contests. Here's more from the assistant coach, Doyle Roll, on the team's performances.
Individually, little pet peeves, shaking off and actually slowing down the game when need be to some great passes, not so great passes at times, which kind of hurt us a little bit, but we came through with some great penalty shots and goals from Jamar Benamy to Jaden Smith. We're moving on to the next round of tournaments. We're going to play some other U.S. teams like Hialeah, a couple of teams from Orlando, some other teams from Fort Lauderdale. We're looking to bring a goal for that as well for the U16.
Congratulations to Team Bahamas from all of us here at Eyewitness Sports. And finally in sports, it's homecoming weekend at the University of the Bahamas, and the Mingos are taking on the Department of Customs taxmen at this hour over at the Kendall J. Isaac Gymnasium. Earlier, the University of the Bahamas had a thrilling game against the Nassau Flight Services. UB fell behind 6-2 early, but stormed back to lead 14-6 late in the first quarter. But by halftime, UB was up 38-29 after closing the second quarter on a 9-0 run. The second half stayed intense. UB's biggest lead was 48-29, but the flight service fought back to make it 54-46 by the end of the third. With just over a minute left, UB trailed behind 72-68. A late layup cut it to 72-70, but the flight service pulled away with a 76-72 win. Terrence Higgs led UB with 18 points and 5 steals. Kavanaugh Russell added 16, and Jeremy Miller posted a double-double with 14 points and 22 rebounds. Tramiko Higgs led the Nassau Flight Service with 32 points, hitting 8 for 10 from the three-point range.
We wanted to have a situation where we end the game very tired. So we third quarter, we came up full court press, and we wanted to try to see how our guys would operate in a fatigue situation. And so we kept some key players on the floor, and then we just didn't have it at the end.
And as an alumni of the University of the Bahamas, all I have to say is, let's go Mingos. Well, that's what's making sports at this hour. I'm Laurencia Smith. Stay tuned for more news on the other side of the break.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites, we offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Well, that wraps up news this Friday. We hope you had a great week. Coming up and Beyond the Headlines with Shanique Miller, it's a look at all of this week's hot topics. That's coming up in Beyond the Headlines. That starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Noel, officially on vacation, saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space, but not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space? The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Brown has his first stomp speech. How did he do? And did he make a good first impression to Golden Isles voters? Also, F&M MCM Jit Colmer giving advice to independent Andrew Blue Johnson. What did that conversation involve, I wonder? And also, later this evening, Fort Charlotte candidate Sebastian telling voters, stay the course. And tonight, in Week in Review Fridays, you know the story that's gone viral. The PMH nurse who shook things up this week. Was she in violation of employment agreements or a brave woman for speaking out? It's all straight ahead this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's good to have you along this evening. Well, the Free National Movement brought the energy to Golden Isles last night as supporters packed the rally in the alley, cheering on their candidate ahead of the upcoming by-election, now just weeks away. Laurencia Smith was there and has the story.
Supporters of the Free National Movement dressed in their party colors, waving the party's flag and pom-pom, showing their support at the Rally for the Alley in the Golden Isles constituency Thursday night. The party's candidate, Brian Brown, contesting the seat in the upcoming by-election, told supporters he doesn't need politics to call him to serve. He says when the community calls,
when family needs help, Brian Berkeley Brown showed up.
Adding that he's never left the people of Golden Isles, even when he lost at the polls in 2021 to the late Vaughn Miller.
As an outsider, he don't live here, he don't know us, and he don't understand the community. He hasn't walked these streets or felt what we felt.
Miller's sudden death in September has triggered a by-election set for November 24th. It's now a four-way race in Golden Isles, with Darren Pickstock representing the Progressive Liberal Party, Brian Roll running for the Coalition of Independents, and Karen Kim Butler entering as an independent candidate. F&M leader Michael Pintard says he hopes the outcome of this by-election sends a strong message to the governing party.
They ought to be focused not on the small groups that they continue to empower. They've given $500 million plus in direct awards to big players without giving the rest of the population a chance.
With nearly 8,000 voters expected to head to the polls, observers are predicting a closely contested race. The party's deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, says the people are tired of the promises.
People of Golden Isles are saying that they have had enough. This is a government that has been about promises, not policy. And I tell you, F&Ms and Golden Isles and Bahamians everywhere, this is a government that has been about the greedy and not the needy.
Southern Shore's candidate, Danilee Penn Mackey, Fort Charlotte candidate Travis Robinson, and Heather McDonald, who's contesting the Angleton seat, rallied behind the Golden Isles candidate, reinforcing his message to stay connected to the community.
You're gonna get just what West End got, a ton of neglect. And Golden Isles is not for sale. What we want, it can't be bought.
Golden Isles deserve better leadership and better representation.
In the 2021 snap election, Brown captured 1,844 votes. Laurencia Smith, Eyewitness News.
Well, listen, of course, we saw that, and we in fact went live there last night as the rally was in action. I mean, going on and speakers hitting the stage with their supporters. But I'm going to bring in the panelists right now to hear their thoughts and views. I mean, the F&M out front, they are the first political party to have held a rally in the Golden Isles constituency ahead of the by-election. Of course, needing to make a great first impression, one as the first ones out the gate, and then, of course, hearing from Brian Brown in his first political stomp speech. And so we're going to get started right there this evening. Welcome to Be on the Headlines, Leslie Miller, Garth Rosborough, and Howard Johnson. Gentlemen, good evening to all of you.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Bahamas. Good to be here.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Bahamas.
Yes, listen, gentlemen, I know we all paid attention. We had to. It was the first rally in Golden Isles. Golden Isles has become the seat and the community, the constituency to watch as a result of this by-election. Your thoughts on how the F&M showed up, its first impression in terms of a rally stage and a rally event?
Well, first of all, I would say, because I live there and I will speak first on this matter, I want to thank Beyond the Headlines for allowing me to just simply inform the government and those associated that we needed this by-election. Now you understand why. The smooth roads, just like butter, heading all the way to the event last night. I was stuck in traffic for about a half an hour. There was a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of excitement. The attention definitely is on Golden Isles. We could have just simply circumvented the event last night. I could have gone beyond to the Bacardi roadside and come around, but everyone wanted to see, as we are, nosy Bahamians, wanted to see what was going on. And so I saw the crowd in the front. I saw the event happening in the back of the headquarters building. It was just simply an exciting time. And I said, you know what? a lot of great things are about to happen in Golden Isles for this by-election.
So
Thank you so much.
So Golden Isles is loving the attention.
We're loving the attention. I even got messages from the leaders of our political party that they're going to come to see me and take care of some matters. I'm telling you, the attention is there.
Wait a minute, Garth. Hold
I
on
am
now.
so happy.
Hold on.
I am just excited. I
What
feel
are
like
you
it's my
saying?
birthday.
Political leaders are knocking on your door
Oh,
now?
man, they're on their way. Thank you, Jesus. I mean, I'm so happy for this attention. I mean, I'm going to get some things done. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bahamas. I appreciate you.
So this is what, listen, gotta be about more than getting things done, eh?
Oh, no,
Howard,
no, it's all about that. It's
That's
all
okay.
about that.
I hear you.
We don't in politics. Politics is all about getting things done. Don't talk it.
Well, no, it's about getting things done. But Jesus, I want to hear more about where you taking the largest, or perhaps the second largest, or equally as large constituency in the Bahamas. But Howard, go ahead. Your thoughts on how the FNM showed up? They were first out the gate. They listen, first rally, first all this stuff in Golden Isles. Your thoughts on how that played out last night?
Yeah, so Shanique, I'm so happy to see that the FNM got out of the blocks and pulling off a big event. You know, the PLP has done quite a bit with their link-ups in recent months. And I was trying, I couldn't watch it live last night because, of course, I was flying from Barbados to Miami. And so when I got in and was in the airport waiting until 3 o'clock this morning to catch my flight to Tampa, I watched the rebroadcast, or I watched it replay on their Facebook page. And so I was able to go through the entire thing. But I know we're focusing on what Mr. Brown had to say. Now, there's several things I can say. The first thing is the FNM was very consistent through all of the speakers in what their messaging was and what exactly they were trying to say in terms of supporting Brian Brown and giving the people of Golden Isles the reasons behind why he should be elevated as their representative in Parliament. Now, specifically to Mr. Brown, in his speech, I noted several things that he said. He touted a litany of things as his record that he's running on. One, he said that he's been cleaning up the neighborhood. He said, two, he's restored the Coral Harbor Park. He has helped families with emergency relief and grocery assistance. That's number three. Number four, free BJC and BGCSE classes and homework assistance. And five, a job assistance program. That's an illustrative but not an exhaustive list. So I'm looking at that and I'm saying, hey, Mr. Brown, this is your record, you said, and this is what you're running on. What I find interesting, though, is there's a lot of criticism coming from that side about what Mr. Pickstock is trying to develop as his record. Now, clearly, he's not been around Golden Isles as long as Mr. Brown has been, but he's the candidate. The party has nominated him. The party is going with him. And so all of these nice roads that Garth and everybody else is talking about that he is being criticized for on the FNM side, that's his record through his party that has elevated him to be the person they want to represent them in Parliament. So I know that everybody's playing politics, but here's the thing, Brian Brown and the FNM, what you have to do is use what you say is your record against what the PLP is pushing with Mr. Pickstock and developing as his record. And you have to make sure that those people in Golden Isles who are not the party faithful believe that you can do a better job than Pickstock can at the end of the day. So you can't say he can't take credit for this, or he shouldn't take credit for this, or the PLP can't do this, or they can't do that. Everybody is touting their record. And if paving the roads and doing all of these other things and Darren's 10-point plan is what he's developing as his record, let's go pound for pound, mano y mano, and let's see who's going to convince the people of Golden Isles to send that guy to Parliament.
Very interesting insights. I passed there last night. Dave and I passed the headquarters where they had the rally. Had a pretty decent crowd there. Most of them came from elsewhere, as you could appreciate, because we found that most of the people that reside in that area don't really become too politically involved in the political process. For example, we spent last night down in Coral Harbor and Coral Lakes, the other areas, right? They have really little or no regard for rallies and what have you. Those people are just going on with their lives, trying to take care of their family and what have you. The enthusiasm for Mr. Pickstock is appreciated, but his problem is he needs to go and knock on them doors and let the people see him. I would admit that Mr. Brown seemed to have some connection with some people on some of the blocks that we went to. But I'll tell you what is interesting. A poll came out just this morning
Okay.
for Golden Isles by-election 2025. And it has here Brian Rule, 55%, Darren Pickstock, 35%, and Brian Brown, 10%. Now, who believed that? Obviously, resided at ET, eh?
I haven't seen that poll.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, the poll says, and I want each of you to respond to it, the other two. So it says for the Golden Isles by-election, Brian Roll has shown that 55% of the registered, roughly 8,000 voters of Golden Isles will give him their support. That Darren Pickstock will get 35%, and Brian Roll will get
Brian
10.
Brown.
Pardon me, Brian Brown, the one who just had the rally last night, will get, let me see, Leslie, 10% of the 8,000 votes there in Golden Isles. Garth, you first, and then Howard.
Well, I was hoping Howard went first. But you're the hostess, well, you just something else. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. If you asked me to bet my life on
Who did that poll, by the way?
I mean, this is what I'm saying to you. That's why I wouldn't believe. See, what you're looking at, as much as people are speaking about a change coming, you're looking at a record. You're looking at a track record. The track record has never been a presence in the Golden Isles constituency for the leader in that poll. Even though he lives there, his strength has not been in Golden Isles. Their party strength has not been in Golden Isles. Their only party strength has been the leader everywhere he goes, and he goes talking everywhere on the microphone. No one else in the party speaks. Only he speaks. Maybe a chairman once in a while, maybe the deputy, but the only person in that party is the leader. So to say that Brian Roll is going to be in the forefront, I would say that has to be absolutely untrue. In terms of the PLP and the Free National Movement, once again, depending on who actually put that poll together, that race is still left to be determined because, like Howard said, you're looking at one person with a record of being present for a period of time, but you're looking at the other one as being present in a very magnanimous way. I mean, in a way that I even have goosebumps right now because I just called him and said, man, I need these 2 trees in front of my yard cut, and we got a call right away. Those trees could be cut in short order. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some things done.
Wait a minute, now hold on. Look,
that's my vote. That's my vote.
Howard, do you have any apartment in Golden Isles? Because look like I need to move there right now for a minute. I was thinking I needed to move in Fort Charlotte or maybe Michael, but it looks like
they talking to you.
No, don't tell the people. Don't tell the people the real story. Where I want to move. But Howard, your thoughts on that poll?
Well, Shanique, polling isn't an exact science, you know, and I see more and more where, for the purpose of elections, what we're doing is adopting a lot of the things that we see from our neighbor to the north, well, where I live in the United States, right? And we know that in most recent political history, as it relates to polling, the 2017 election had Hillary Clinton far and away winning against Donald Trump. And at the end of the night, everyone wanted to use the toilet on the Democrat side because Donald Trump won that election.
Even the most recent U.S. election, the polling was garbage. Yes. And I'm not trying to hit this one. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
And so I'm not going to put any real stock in that particular poll because of that, it not being an exact science, and depending on who's done the poll. If that poll was done internally by someone who favors the COI, then of course that polling is going to lean towards them. Here's the thing. I believe that if you look at the poll as, remember that it's this, it is a one-time, real-time snapshot of what is going on with the people who, what they're thinking, a sample, a random sample, it should be, of the people in that constituency at that one specific period of time, and then that's it. So tomorrow is a different day, the next day is a different day, and election day is a different day. So polling could change. What people need to do is exactly what Leslie said a few minutes ago. Boots on the ground, knock on those doors, and you have to convince those people that are not the party faithful, the silent majority. You have to convince those to give you the opportunity to go to parliament, because your people can vote for you in the PLP, in the FNM, and in the COI. It's those undecided, independent, and swing voters who have no allegiance to anyone that need the convincing.
Will FNM Deputy Leader Sean... Yes, Leslie?
I was just going to cut him and he finished.
Go ahead, go.
These figures are so bogus. When I saw it, I said, this is another fool has just come again. the fight in that constituency is between Mr. Brown and Mr. Pickstock. I expect at the end of the day, Pickstock will probably pick up 60% of the votes. Brown will pick up about 35, and the COI will make me get my $500 back.
But hold on now.
They will give me my money back.
You want his 500 back.
They can get 500.
Well, I don't know if you were here for that bet, but Leslie bet me. What was the number you said, Leslie? Leslie,
you will not get 500.
No. Leslie first told you 300.
No.
And then he went to 5. I was listening. He went to 300 first, and then he looked at you and said, "You know what? 500."
Yeah.
Listen to me.
I remember the bet.
Listen, and what was the number? No, Leslie is wrong.
500.
Howard, guess. So here's what he said. He said, Leslie said, the COI,
the COI will
you
not
got
get
me
more
confused.
than 300 votes, and then he said 5.
He said not get more than 500 votes. And so he bet me 500. I already hold in the 500.
Yes.
I say, Leslie.
We already spent the 500 too.
That's in part. I say, that's in part right there.
The woman is spent money quick.
I say, Leslie, no, sir. The COI will get more than 500 votes.
You think so?
Yes, they will.
Not in this lifetime.
That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, gentlemen, get this one though. FNM Deputy Shannon Dawn Cartwright contest St. Barnabas. Of course, that is the seat that he first won in 2017 and successfully defended in the last election. But Cartwright isn't saying just anything yet. Now, we all know he is a part of the Boundaries Commission, and he's been making that known. Speaking with Eyewitness News last night outside that rally, he said he'll make a final decision on whether he'll run in St. Barnabas or elsewhere once the Boundaries Commission releases its official report, a move that could shift constituency lines ahead of the 2026 general election. His comments come amid months of speculation over whether he'll seek renomination in St. Barnabas.
Because the reality of it is, the way this process works is that a decision is going to be made relative to changes across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we don't want to preempt what that decision will be. And then political parties will make decisions accordingly. Been committed to the people of St. Barnabas. We know that politics at times causes changes to happen in the boundaries. They've made proposals that will include changes to a number of seats. So we're waiting to see that fortified. To the people of St. Barnabas, but what I will say is when the changes happen and when they do happen and if they happen, I will make a decision and share that with the people of St. Barnabas.
I'll get their responses right after the break on what Cartwright had to say. This is Beyond the Headlines. Stay exactly where you are. We're back after this.
As a resident of Golden Isles for the past 22 years, I've lived there, served as the chairman for the constituency for the past 11 years. I know the needs, I know the infrastructure needs, I know the needs that the people in Golden Isles need. I drive through there every day. Some of the needs is the healthcare system, the environment. We're looking at it, safety in terms of the police presence being in the constituency on a daily basis. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get Golden Isles up and running and making sure that it's be the best constituency in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. My name is Brian Berkeley Brown from the great constituency of Golden Isles. I'm asking that you lend me a vote so I could work for you.
Ever feel like you're missing your own life because you're constantly running off to the bathroom? Do bladder leaks or pelvic discomfort have you up at night and affect your confidence in everyday life? Those days are over. At Frequency Vitality Center, we offer a solution. Completely painless, fully clothed with no downtime. Perfect for men and women of any age, we help strengthen the pelvic floor muscles while you sit comfortably, improving bladder control, decreasing night waking, and much more. Strengthen your foundation and restore your confidence.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a Dave's single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Are you ready, Bahamas? Get up, get moving, and join us at IL Fit Fest. Saturday, November 15th at the University of the Bahamas playing field. From 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're talking a variety of fitness vendors, free health screenings, and $10,000 in giveaways. And for the kids, we have a kids zone. And entry is absolutely free. Don't miss the IL Fit Fest.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20 30-second ads for $2,000 or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our live on location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in. Of course, this is Week in Review Fridays. We are talking about really the F&M first rollout officially in Golden Isles last evening when the party held its out the gate first of any other political organization with their rally in the alley last evening. We're talking about the deputy leader, though, Shannon Cartwright, who has continued to hint around, one, that he's not seeking a re-election in St. Barnabas. In fact, he's really hopeful, as a member of the Boundaries Commission, he's hopeful for one of those newly created seats in that same Golden Isles, Killarney area. Gentlemen, your thoughts about the fact that Cartwright seems to be really tunnel vision in getting one of those nominations there?
Well, we're looking at a security issue in terms of securing a victory for the upcoming general election. And the question mark as to whether he would be able to be victorious in St. Barnabas has brought a big question mark. Not that he's not performed well in the past or been liked in the past, but what is now in question is, can he survive in these economic times with the people, with the nature of that in St. Barnabas? What is familiar to him, though, is one of the homesteads of his family in Mount Pleasant Village, which is in the Clifton area. Yep. And you can see that he would probably be more preferable there. It's a F&M stronghold under Kendall Wright, I think it was, back in the day. And I do believe that he feels not only secure there, but he believes that if he survives there, if his other colleagues were to fall down, then look at who survives and who leads the Free National Movement. And so if you look at the leadership very quickly, we've not heard anything from the chairman as to where he would run. And as for the leader himself, I thought they missed a great opportunity last night, Shanique Miller, to at least name 3 or 4 other candidates for the Free National Movement. I don't know who is strategizing for them, but definitely they need some help and assistance in consultation. Howard, you there?
Howard, you're muted. You're muted.
Yes, sorry, Shanique. I feel like it is a very ominous sign when no less than your deputy leader and your chairman are looking around and seeking to cherry pick where they're going to run in the next general election. Now, Leslie can validate this for me, right? Because I'm going to go back in history real quick. In the 1992 general election, I was a young boy, right? I was a teenager. Now, at that time, though, I have heard from many people that the F&M was short of a victory. They knew they were going to win. The PLP at that time, after 26 years, was out of gas. Anybody who ran for the F&M, for the most part, if the candidate for the FNM and the Governor's Harbor constituency, who was Alvin Smith at the time,
Alvin Smith,
had
yes.
run in Malcolm Creek in Nassau, he pretty much knew that anywhere that he would have gone, he probably would have won the seat, even though he didn't win that seat against Philip Bethel. In 1973, had anybody from the PLP, 72, had anyone from the PLP ran, knowing that they had consolidated the power from the electorate, they knew that the PLP was going to run on that pre-independence mandate, and they were going to get in power, right? Now, when we look at the 2026 election that's upon us, when the upper echelon of your party leadership is jockeying for seats and trying to reposition themselves to see where they could run, that is an ominous sign, in my opinion, and you are not very confident that you can win where you were or that your party can win at the polls. And so for me, Shannon Dawn is making a fundamental error because you are on the Boundaries Commission that is controlled by the PLP party, right? What make you think, my brother, the PLP party or the PLP government is inclined to cut a seat to your benefit and you are the opposition member on that Boundaries Commission? Man, let me tell you something. Political strategy prevailing, I would cut a sweet seat out of Mount Pleasant and Adelaide and put all them PLP boundaries inside that seat and one or two FNM boundaries in there and crush him. You see, that's what I would do if I was the PLP. Because you can't say the PLP could do what you want, brother. It don't work like that.
That's a very interesting observation. But over the years, I say over the last 30, 40 years, what has happened in the Bahamas with these boundary changes? I always tell people, you can cut the lines, but you can't change the minds. Every time you straighten up one area, you weaken the other area. And I've seen it over and over and over again over the last 40 years. It's a dumb thing to do.
Agreed.
You would go after a fella, so I got to take him out. Then you weaken two other areas, and the guy grabbed two from you, but you get the one, we're taking one out. I think the dilemma here with the FNM now and the top echelon, with the three leadership positions there, is really a cantankerous one because you have the leader who's going to be pushed heavily in Freeport in his seat. That's going to cut and see what happens there. Because you don't forget, West End is going to be taken out by itself. That means you got to come back to the East End. So they'll try to see how much damage they can do to him. Then you got Mr. Sands. He don't know where he's going to go because he's gotten beaten, must be about 3 times. Wherever you send him, you get beat. So he's looking for a safe seat. Then you got the good gentleman from St. Barnabas, knowing that Michael's going to take him out. He would like to go in the same seat out west that Sands wants. Because whoever loses has no more say in the FNM.
That's correct.
You see, all these guys' political career are now on the line. The same thing with Mr. Brown and Picksock. If Picksock lose, you know he can be renominated for no PLP seat out there, right? That's a goner, so he gone.
If anyone loses.
And if Brown loses, the FNM can go with him. The only 6 months wig, I told some people last night, I said, Mr. Miller, if I vote for this man, I don't know him. I said, the beauty of it is, in 6 months, you can get his ass out of there. He'd be gone. So game 4 to 6 months. If he doesn't do the job, you send him home.
Yep.
You got 6 months to vote for him, vote him in and vote him out. I said, that's the chance you all got to take. But I would prefer, I believe that Picksock is going to make a good MP. He got some work to do and a short time to do it. So like I told him, I said, my brother, you got to be on the road 24/7. You got to walk to win. And if you believe you can hang out with these fellas in any club or go on any field to win, you can get the surprise of your life.
Well, listen,
walk to win.
I want to, Ali McIntosh said this week, this is Week in Review and we're going to move on, but I just want to get your, speaking of walk to win, I just feel like are we going to shift this a little bit in the Bahamas in terms of having to necessarily knock on every door? But she said, listen, enough of this Boundaries Commission, enough of this just this splitting boundaries or even increasing.
So how do you correct it then?
She said, enough of that. It's too much of the Bahamian people's money. I don't know, because with constituencies that, number one, population shift and population growth, I'm not sure what she's recommending, because again, it truly, minimum 8,000, because that's just 8,000 registered.
Yeah, you get a lot of
Perhaps
people.
15,000 people, 20,000 people live now in that area.
You mean
How is one
that
person?
along with Minnesota?
Well,
Those
Minnesota is
together.
different, yeah.
I'm saying those two together.
So the thing is, how is one man or woman to properly serve the area as our system, which is under the Westminster system, is currently made up of? Your thoughts on what she said this week?
Let me give an example. In the 1987 elections, Blue Hills started from Gladstone Road, went to East Street, all the Carmichael Road, and all the Harrow Road back to John F. Kennedy Drive. That was the biggest area in New Providence at the time. But it's not that difficult. If you make up your mind that you want to be a good MP, you'll get the job done. Visit all the constituents. If you see a lot, got to clean down, do the work that is necessary to enable you to have the best of your constituents within you, that they can say you're doing a good job. The geographical thing is a little difficult, but you can do it. You got to make up your mind that you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of sacrifices to make on the weekend. I mean, I spent every weekend in my constituency when I was there. And it hurts your family, don't get me wrong. Okay? You got to decide whether you can be with the boys on Friday and Saturday, or whether you can go over there and do the job for your constituents. If you continue to neglect them, especially on Saturday, you'll be gone. So all of these young fellas who run, and some who are in Parliament now, some of them could be gone. Because I'm telling you, I am very concerned about the mindset of the average Bahamian. I don't know how the hell we can vote right now. I figure in January, I'll give you a better idea. But right now, everybody's shifting, saying, well, I know what I can do. I can see.
And that's what I'm saying. Does that work? Is the average Bahamian even interested in seeing you knock on their door versus, as Garth is saying?
Yes.
Understand what the average Bahamian want to see now. We are evolving. But one second, Howard. They want to see what Garth is saying. You ain't got to come sit with me and eat corned beef and white rice. Get the work done in the constituency.
Well, they want to see your face.
Make life better. Why? But go ahead, Howard.
They want to see you.
So, Shanique, two things. And the first thing is this. For one constituency to have 8,000 voters and another constituency to have 3,000 voters plus, like as is the case in Central and Southern New Hampshire.
Is about 5,500.
Right. So what I think should happen is this, right? We have to make sure that the representation is fair and equitable. Exactly. I agree to a large extent with what Leslie said. But if you have one constituency with 3,000 voters, and I know the average, Leslie said, is 55. But you have you have 5,500 and then you have 8,000. That is not equitable representation. Your representative in one constituency is not working as hard or as equitably as in another constituency. So we have to bring parity, right?
Yes.
Like in the United States. Here in the United States, there are 435 representatives in the House of Representatives. And each one of them has a constituency or a district that is 650,000 people.
Yep,
almost 750,000 people.
Yeah.
And they tried to maintain that parity because they want one representative to be representing the same amount of people. That is equity, that is fair, and that is balanced. I think we need to do something like that in the Bahamas. Now, quickly, as far as coming and knocking on people's door, I live in the city of Tampa in Hillsborough County, and I'm represented by a mayor, I'm represented by a state representative, I'm represented by a city councilman, I'm represented by a county commissioner. I'm represented by a congressperson, state senator. These things, right? I've never seen any of them. I've never, ever seen any of them in my life. Ever in my life. But you know what it is that happens in America?
They spend money on media. In the States, media.
But that's what we need to get. That's what we need to get. Because he is saying, all he want to make sure that everything around him and everything is working well and what needs to be done is done.
We haven't reached that point of maturity
yet. Here's why that happens. Because, see, they're representing us, so we have the representative democracy part. What we don't have and we need to develop more in the Bahamas is the participatory democracy side. And what that is, if the MP is coming to my door, if I want to see him, child, I see him, and I see him, so I vote. If everybody thinks like that and everybody wants to see him or her, then when they get time to do your work. So here's what we need to do. Participatory democracy means you have to sometimes get out of yourself and go to where these people are to have that conversation, to make your contribution to what you want to see. Every MP has office hours. They have community events. the constituency meetings, you need to go there and do your part too. It ain't just he need to come to my door or she need to come to my door. Because guess what? Bahamians are aggressive when they need to be. I saw last night that there's going to be a Barris Hammond and Taurus Riley Valentine's Day concert February 14, 2026. You better believe everybody who is a Bahamian who want to go there, they can get together with their friends and buy their VIP box. They can buy their new outfits. They can aggressively pursue everything they need to do to go to that concert. But you, and as a citizen, the highest duty you have as a citizen to your country, you ain't aggressive enough to go to your MP office, to go to a constituency meeting, to go to a constituency event and seek out your MP to say, look, this is what we need in our community. Come on, man, it's ridiculous.
But mind you, now bear in mind, in the last general election of the United States of America, President Trump had over 1 million people on the ground.
He did.
Going door to door. Paid for by Musk with over $100 million and others. You know, but listen, when I go door to door, I'll head up there tonight. People say, you talk and talk, say, well, I see the MP yet, or the supposed MP, when I can see him, when he come in here to me. It's a difficult task, but it's a mindset. I want to see what the fella look like. I want to ask him something, because I don't know him. And that goes for both candidates. Because only a fool would believe that Brown would have known everybody that constituency. Can't happen, could never happen. Where he lived, in that little area, he would know the people on those blocks. But he know the people who live in the east, the west, the north, and the south. So it's always a little area that you say, well, he's been in there for 5 years. 5 years where?
Gentlemen,
he was not the MP, so it wasn't necessary to do that.
Gentlemen, what do you make of this? Let's move it along. What do you make of this? This same part right here. FNM MCM, Jit Culmer, sat earlier today with Freetown independent aspirant Andrew Blue Johnson. We know now Jit has been very outspoken. Jit has appeared even on this show, apparently giving him some shrewd political advice. What do you all think that's about? And what do you make of it in terms of how significant it is for...
the FNM fellow who they sent there. Probably a personal matter.
Well, I look at it like this. Kendall Jit Culmer is a man who has walked with successor. From the beginning of the Free National Movement, he was in the trenches with those guys. When I was in the FNM, the 2 times I was a ratified candidate in the Free National Movement, I can say without fear of contradiction, without shame, that Jit Culmer sought me out and gave me wise counsel many times and encouraged me and gave me support. So I know this man personally, and I know what he means to the FNM. To see him sitting with Andrew Blue Johnson, and I'm not surprised that he's mentoring younger people. He did it to me. I'm not surprised at that. But what I'm saying is, it speaks volumes that this man, a man of his caliber, is sitting with. And sure, he hasn't endorsed him, and he doesn't have to. But the optics speaks volumes when there is a ratified FNM candidate already in that constituency, but he is sitting with the supposed independent candidate in the very same constituency. That speaks volumes to me, Shani. It speaks volumes.
And he's a good man.
It's troubling for the FNM.
It's a very good man.
If you look at the history of the relationship, Jit Culmer is a very dear friend of Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. He's a general, if you may say so, a great support to him. And as Dr. Minnis is now sitting in Kalani, prepared to run independent as an FNM as we know it, it doesn't surprise me if he's sitting with Blue Johnson over in Freetown. Now, let me tell you how that dynamic works.
Excellent point.
It was Mr. Lincoln Deal who was contesting Kalani against Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis.
Excellent point.
So for the challenge going up against Dr. Minnis, Jit has taken the fight from Kalani over now to Freetown to say, you know what, Blue, I'm with you. And so we're going to see some insurgents, we're going to see some independent individuals rising up saying, you know what, I am for you. And this is the issue that the Free National Movement is going to have to solve. As they are working, as they say, for everyone, they need to work on themselves and unite their party.
But you know what I'm finding as I go door to door, Dave and I, people are still angry as hell with the leader of opposition when they got rid of Minnis, Minnis has some good support out there among the FNMs, He did some good things for them. However few they are. And they never mentioned the current leader's name. They said the fellow who took over. So there's still a lot of animosity between very many FNMs. I'd say about 30 to 40% of FNMs in this country don't want no part of Pentad. They are menace people. And I think he's going to cause them deadly come the general election. Very deadly.
When we come back, Sebastian, the candidate, the PLPs, listen, now you all can't say a thing tonight. We have spoken about the FNM throughout I just realized this entire show. So when we come back, Justin, I hope we have 15 minutes because I want to get to Sebas and I also want to get to the nurse. But when we come back, Sebas is saying, listen, hey, hold up everybody. Before you get too excited about everything around you, stay the course. We're back right after this.
The Bahamas is the premier destination for fly fishing because of its unique geography.
We've got the third largest barrier reef in the world in the Bahamas.
We have the largest aggregation of mangroves in the Western Hemisphere.
Which simply means we've got the largest marine biodiversity than anywhere else in the world.
I am unapologetic about Bahamians being owners in our #1 industry.
We should not just say, we should have it enacted into certain policies.
The Bahamas Fly Fishing Industry Association was instrumental in the 2017 sports fishing legislation. Anyone fishing in the Bahamas who's going to be guiding has to be certified and licensed, and thirdly, they have to be a Bahamian.
And that is historic in that a model of conservation and a model for Bahamianization has been legislated, the only one in the country.
But it also gives Bahamians the opportunity with a sense of pride to know that at the end of the day, I'm contributing to the development of my country and something they can pass on for generations.
The Out Island of Bahamas, there are no other alternative industry that generates the kind of revenue that fly fishing does. The entire community benefits.
I would always encourage the tourists, people who want to fish, hire a local guide.
The guides in the Bahamas are some of the best trained fly fishing guides in the world. You know it because you see the results in terms of the kinds of fishing they're doing. They're catching the largest bonefish, the largest tarpon, largest permit. That is unique. So this is the lure to all the anglers internationally coming who thinks of the Bahamas as #1 destination for fly fishing and saltwater.
I'm really excited about this initiative that SPTC has brought forth for the fishermen.
If you have great guides and terrible boats and engines and nothing working and all this, you could be the best in the world. And people still have a terrible experience because they could not have a good day on the water.
I think one of the greatest things is to have access to quality capital, but not only having access to the capital, but terms and conditions related to the capital, so we encourage growth and expansion of the industry and professionalism within the industry because of the resources being at hand and having proper guidance.
It'll be a greater impact and they'll have a better experience.
And I foresee it being an opportunity that the guides are taking advantage of in terms of the opportunities for education, awareness, and resources. You always need to advise people, inform them, and then equip them. And so I think this process is essential because it allows those skill sets that are needed in a changing economy and environment, how they could then keep up with operating their small business.
Beyond the Headlines is now introducing powerful TV advertising opportunities made just for you. Choose our television ad package, 20-30-second ads for $2,000, or 20 60-second ads for $2,500 plus VAT. Prefer flexibility? Go a la carte. Just $150 for a 30-second ad or $200 for a 60-second ad. Step into the spotlight with our interview package. One 15-minute interview for $500 or 4 for $15 per month. Or bring Beyond the Headlines directly to you with our Live on Location package, only $2,600 plus VAT. For more information, contact our sales agent at 242-466-6173.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
You know, Justin, I'll tell you this. I told you I needed the video with Dr. Minnis dancing, Keith Bell dancing, Dr. Fox dancing. It was somebody else dancing that we talked about earlier this week, but that's okay. Just hold on to those things because we have a lot to get to, and more people dance, the more we talk about it. Because who got the rhythm, eh? So listen though, tonight a political newcomer is urging residents to not change course midstream. Serial entrepreneur Sabas Bastian is speaking to the voters of the nation, saying that while it is their choice and their democratic right to choose and vote for whom they wish, he's advising them, though, to stay the course. Here's Jose Etienne with the story.
Then it's necessary for us to go 2 terms as a country. We have racked up so much deficit and missed opportunities and prosperity based because we keep resetting.
And by changing the horse midstream, Bastian believes residents could be doing themselves a disservice, sending the nation backward.
The progress that is being made, though all of the things that we set out to do are not quite done yet, we've done a lot, we have a lot more to go. We have to invest and vote into progress. This is about progress, and this is about continuing what has been started, all of the hard work, the heavy lifting. We can't go in that stop, repeat and cancel cycle.
But the reality is, since 2012, the country has been stuck in an electoral cycle where governments have not been voted in, but rather kicked out of office. Political commentators argue that aside from 1997, when the Free National Movement won back-to-back, the last time the electorate voted in a political party was in 2007, when former Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham won the election shortly after returning as leader of the Free National Movement. History shows that the electorate didn't seem quite convinced about a Tommy Turnquest-led FNM, which political pundits believe had a consequential impact on the 2002 general election. And to Bastian's point about continuity, it remains a concern that's amplified by political differences on the National Development Plan. It's what the Plan Steering Committee's chairman, Felix Stubbs, sums up as, quote, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Draft legislation to place the plan on a legal footing is expected by end November, and officials believe it's central to locking in progress that won't be derailed by electoral outcomes. Nonetheless, Bastian is forthright about his position.
There's only one way this election should go if we want a better Bahamas, and that's PLP all the way.
And so, of course, you saw that story there by Jose Etienne and Sabas Bastian. Of course, he is the PLP's candidate for Fort Charlotte, urging people, saying, listen, stay put and watch this all unfold under another Davis administration or a second term for a Davis administration. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Well, I'm just holding my breath, Shanique Miller. I'm just watching this race. 2 brilliant young Bahamian men. We oftentimes cast men down in today's society, but here we have an example of 2 of them, as Howard said earlier, Hermano, Imano. So I'm just very interested to see if the young Travis Robinson still has the giant killer in him, or if the giant will prevail. And we must be honest with ourselves. We're expecting great things from Sebastian, but if it's Travis Robinson, we're looking for him to step up his game if he's to be victorious.
So Shanique, with Sabaz asking the Bahamian people to stay the course with the PLP government, I mean, it's very interesting, and that's what he has to say. I've heard the Prime Minister say it. The Deputy Prime Minister has indicated it over and over in recent months. And it's interesting that from the 2002 election and every election cycle up to now, every one of those governments, both FNM and PLP that were going to the polls, asked the Bahamian people to give them another term.
That's
And you're
30
supposed
years.
to, because you want continuity. In the last 5 elections, every government in the Bahamas has asked for continuity in government, stay the course, and keep us. Now, the referendum rulers are the Bahamian people, and they did not give the past 5 governments in a row a second term. And so I believe that Sabaz is simply echoing what he knows that everyone else has asked, and he understands the history that is on the line. And the PLP has to get another term to continue the work that they have touted, that they have been doing, and the FNM wants to come up and replace them. So Sabaz, he can't say anything different, and he shouldn't say anything different, because they want another term in government, and this is what you have to do. And say, nothing new here.
You know, Mr. Ingram was fortunate. He served 2 terms straight, 92, 97. He was the king, really, top of his game. And around about 2000 is when the people made a break from him. I'll never forget, I was talking to him. The big boys was coming down on him so hard that you give them a loaf of bread today, then they want a damn bakery tomorrow. You give them new legislation today, then they want something else tomorrow. And he got tired of them. He said, listen, man, enough is enough. And then the tides turned. And then people decided that he'll have to go. But it's been 30 years now since the last government, Mr. Ingram, was served 2 times. I believe Mr. Davis has done enough himself now. One thing is in his favor. There's no great hate against him. And I witnessed that, you know. After a while, Bahamians get to dismiss you and they start to have hate for you. They still have love for Mr. Davis. And he got to make some changes along the way, which I think he's prepared to do. Certainly, if he were to win the government again, he got to make some necessary changes that Bahamian people will demand of his cabinet and some of the members of parliament. But he has this spirit, this love in him for regular poor Bahamians, I call the pot cakes, which makes up 65% of the
You may
electorate.
not know this because while you were in Golden Isles last night,
Yes.
of course we know the FNM had their rally. I understand that the Prime Minister was also in Golden Isles last night.
That's correct.
And there were, Garth knows that there are pictures.
And he was in the
pictures
plaza.
with, and I understand pictures with him with FNMs.
He was in the plaza
Yeah.
at the establishment there.
Right.
And they had a big function there. And of course, all the other ministers in the PLP were invited to meet them there.
Yeah.
And they had a big gathering last night. It wasn't celebratory. It was simply investigative. And the PLP left some 5-10 minutes afterwards when Brian Brown arrived. And that's how that went last night.
Also, so the pictures with him with the FNMs, what was that about?
Oh, yeah. That was all about him arriving there at that particular time. I was astonished myself. But the news in Golden Isles was that, you know, the FNM had taken over the establishment in the plaza and that the PLPs need to now show up. And so all the PLPs flocked there to say, hey, we're here too. This is our territory as well. So it's just a standoff. That's what it really was.
Okay.
Yeah, but the qualities of Philip Brave Davis is that he's a regular fella. You know?
Maybe
born
too
in good
regular,
food.
Leslie. Maybe too regular.
Went to school, just regular. You know all the fellas on the blocks. And people have this confidence that he's going to look out for their best interest, especially the small man. Like I say, the pot cakes make up 65% of the electric in this country. And anybody, I always call him the go-to man. Whenever you have a problem, you go to Brave, he can help you out to get it done.
Yeah, Mr. Miller, they say that, right? But remember now, right here on Beyond the Headlines, for 3 years we've been asking what's going on with the government. And then we had some debacles going on. There are some issues that need to still be addressed.
That needs to clear up.
And you did say that just now.
Yes.
And so I just want to remind everyone once again, you got to fix these issues. And I know Shanique is very, very soft when it comes to Grand Bahama. We want to see Grand Bahama explode.
Believe me,
We got goosebumps
Garth-
right here. Shanique was like,
Yes.
Garth, we need to fly over there and see this for ourselves.
Garth, you must understand that
Yes.
I spoke with Grand Bahama just this week.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to hear more because, again, it's areas that I follow up on consistently. Grand Bahama, Mical, Abaco. That's it. I follow up on these islands to see what they're doing, what's happening there. And so you're quite right. I followed up just this week on Grand
Fix
Bahama.
it.
People really get the true temperament of the Bahamian people until January. When the election cycle really kick off for the full election campaign.
You mean after
This is a
Christmas?
by-election, and these 2 men are lucky that all of their colleagues are out there campaigning for them.
Okay.
Now, once it's over, it come after the 24th, my brothers, you're on your own. Every dog for himself. If you think some group will be out there with you, or forget it.
No.
That's when real life can hit you. And now you got to prove your worth to yourself.
You could stand on your own.
Let me tell you, on your own.
Golden Eyes, we got to get it now. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Mr. Davidson got to be in Cat Island, making sure he fight the retainer seat. And every other member of parliament could be hustled like hell. So they ain't have no time to come walk with you like we doing now. That ain't gonna happen.
Shanique knows it's true.
That ain't gonna happen. So you
Very true.
thank God for what you all do get now. But come January, you're on your own.
Yeah, man, after
And
this election.
Shanique, I know God say you can't be too regular, but listen, you have to be regular. Let me tell you why.
You have to be.
Now, I ain't say you gotta sit under the tree now. I
No,
ain't
no,
say
don't sit under the tree and chew gum.
But
Don't do
here's
that.
what I'm saying. Regular is what got Andrew Holness elected to
Yep,
an
regular.
unprecedented
But I'm not talking about that regular how it's
Regular.
cheating monkeys.
Yes.
Just a fellow on the block.
All over the place. If you look at this man social media, he was all over the place.
Yeah.
All
On
over
the block.
Anywhere and
On the
everywhere.
blocks.
Regular gets you
Regular.
another turn, brother.
But mind you, let me say this. Many MPs who in parliament now, they don't know how to be regular.
That is true.
Many of them, they were never regular. They don't know what regular is. Regular is a fellow who born on the blocks, grew up on the blocks with the fellas.
But I don't know.
Got opportunity to go to school, you got an education, you got a good job.
Leslie, I don't
That gotta
support
be in you. That's
Leslie,
the part of you.
everybody cannot sit under the tree and come from that and chew gum and swat mosquitoes.
Listen, man, you gotta be
Understand?
regular.
No, the Bahamas is made up of all of us. And
I
so
said
therefore-
many of them
no, but,
don't know how to be regular.
But some of them may not know what that is.
Okay.
We gotta make room for everyone.
No, you want to make room for everyone.
Yeah,
but who make up the masses?
Yeah, but
The average Bahamian.
and you reach to them to lift them up.
Okay.
But you don't have to
But
go
be
and
regular,
be able
be
to
it.
relate to the
Listen.
fact that
Hey,
you regular and so
be
we
a pot
all
cake.
sitting under the tamarind tree
Okay, 'cause
together
that's-
and talking those stories.
You both have a great point, you know, a very good point. But Shanique, we didn't even get to our nurse.
We didn't
at
get to the
hospital.
nursing story because Justin has told me that I must write. Listen, I said this,
Yeah.
and I know we have some human resources persons who studied and experienced here on this panel tonight. I am saying this, Joe. The nurse never told one lie, but that nurse should have gone through various channels, including her union, to get that out about the working conditions there. We will revisit this topic about Princess Margaret Hospital, absolutely. And again, I will say that is why I am a proponent of a new hospital, because when that new hospital is built, you turn around to see how you can salvage certain areas of the Princess
And
Margaret
let's hope that
Hospital.
Bahamians get an opportunity to full it. Hello? You know them women who we got? Like when they go to the have babies or have something taken care of, you don't see this long damn line. Everybody else but our people.
They ain't having children.
You better start. Oh, you're too old.
I'm gonna look forward to that show on Monday.
And I'm finished. I'm over the hill, so forget the
Leslie, you sure you over the hill?
I got trouble the draw baby now.
But it's good to see Howard back from Barbados. Howard, welcome
Yeah,
back.
man, welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be back with
You
you
didn't make no
guys. Happy
babies
to be
that day,
back.
Howard.
No, sir. No,
Good,
sir.
good man. Good man.
Beyond the headlines, listen, I thank you all so much for being here. It's good to have you all hang out this entire week with me, including you, Leslie, including you. Good, yeah, you sure you ain't making baby? You sure that?
Always appreciate Leslie.
Yeah, Howard, it's good to see you again.
Keep an eye on me now, 'cause I know more than them.
Have a great weekend for the entire team. I'm Shanique Miller. Have a blessed weekend, everyone.
The Verizon Media Group, home of ILTV, Paramount Systems Limited, Eyewitness News, and Beyond the